The will to live is strong within. A midwife often daily sick. Most other little ones born this way would surely have been dead. Color came to its face, though it was strangely mild, and a whisper slithered through, and the gods cursed this child. Resuscitate, the infant is turning blue. Resuscitate, make the water spew. The baby coughed and sputtered forth a brackish water gout. Cold and wet it was still, the girl was born to drown. Heel of hand pushed and pressed, more water like a spout. Then the infant finally cried, the girl was born to drown. Born to drown. Born to drown. Marked with death upon its birth. Marked with death in the mouth. The baby coughed and sputtered forth a brackish water gout. Cold and wet it was still, the girl was born to drown. Heel of hand pushed and pressed, more water like a spout. Then the infant finally cried, the girl was born to drown. Born to drown. Born to drown. I will name her Metzley. Father, why do you drink so much? Is there pain in your ghost limb? Brother, a mere boy of 10, working for the Spanish men. Mother, other children say I'm not a pure-blood Aztec like the rest. With father at home, with missing leg, what's this work that you detest? They say I'm different from the others, that a Spaniard child my mother
as he engaged, body altered by young motherhood, my value a decreasing.
Worn on the arm of and awake from a fit, dead body still grasping. Lungs filled like water balloons, not a bubble of air inside her as I did. Then the darkness fogged her eyes to open once more where fate decided. See you walk out, mother coated in scales, whose domain is female fertility. Metzli gazed upon the goddess, the one who granted her virility. This watery grave, deepest cavern black, coldest Spanish hearts, painful as the rock. See you walk out to you, my life gave. Before you I stand, blood on my hands, to anger bound as a slave, spurned by a manipulative man. Metzli, dearest child, she answered, where are the children for who you Their smiling faces like Spanish men, hurting, killing, raping my heart. And my goddess a trickster vile, feeling like I'm torn apart. No longer can I play the fool, a petty, painful, poor charade. Life offends my scabrous heart. I'm so done with this masquerade. See, Llorona, what's this cruelty? How I've searched for all these years, but nobody's have I found. Only a gulf of pus and tears. With this rotting body, curse and maddening thoughts between my ears. Is this some sickening lie? Aching mind of positive. What a joke! Stalking through the reeds, midnight obfuscated, squelching with damp steps and dress saturated. To the place I once called home, a disturbing word of irony. Never happy, never safe. An estate built on piracy. Emilio, husband dear, why do you shrink from me? The touch of your purchased wife and always forced into
but this time I don't recoil, and dig my taloned fingers deep and pour his lifeblood on the like God, burning their people for a cross. Made a creature putrefying, feeling like I'm always dying, and charged with impossible tasks. A mistake. Metzley died under red corona. All that's left is Llorona. And strangle love's purpose, but innocence one must protect and not hold below the surface. What was done to you is tragic, but turnabout is not fair play. Hey, pain was a bit so pelagic. Suicide, your debt didn't pay. And so you walked the water's brim, weeping for the ones you took, searching for your husband slim to drown beneath the brook. A heinous act committed, I took back what I gave. Adultery submitted, them beneath the wave. La Llorona, cursed with dreadful memory. La Llorona, remember for eternity. La Llorona, wails pour like water spilled. La Llorona, for the children that you killed. burns like